Hunter, what happens if you stop squatting?
You die.
Look at this beautiful round, well, it's not really there's no table, but this round floor, I guess we could say, of trainers. I would love to hear each and every one of your thoughts on a very pressing question amongst clients, or just people in general who like to work out, but is how often should you work out? And we're gonna start with you, Nick.
How often should you work out? Semi-controversial answer. Every day of the week, you should work out. Now, to what degree that looks like is different, but I think some form of movement, low aerobic exercise, every day of the week is extremely important. And then when it comes to doing something, like more intense or like non-aerobic exercise, like coming into the gym and lifting weights, that all depends on your background. So say, you've been involved in athletics for 10 years and you're super familiar with, pushing your body to a certain intensity, or, you have super well-rounded and developed movement patterns. Maybe your body can take more at first than, say, somebody who's just coming into the gym to lift weights for the first time. So then as you grow and as you develop and as you, begin to become more comfortable with those movements and developing that foundation, I guess that my answer would vary depending on person.
I like that because there is nuance in everything, especially fitness. So I more or less agree with everything you said, but we're gonna hear just how much Alex disagrees with you. Just kidding. I'm sure he's got some overlap, but what do you think?
Yeah.
How many times should people train? It's kind of a loaded question, I guess.
Kind of like Nick said, my answer is that it depends. So it depends on what you do for work. It depends on where your activity level is where you are right now. Do you currently strength train, or do you playing sports? How old are you? All that kind of fun stuff. Normally, I would start off lighter. Like, so if it was someone that was just coming to me for the first time, hasn't worked out, doesn't get that many steps in, you don't probably need a lot, where you could probably, if you're gonna strength train, I would say probably 2 times a week to start, something like that. But then always, like kind of Nick said too, always kind of moving, getting steps in, just kind of being a little bit more active than what you normally would. But also, like Nick said, if you are overtraining, that's also kind of bad, where you don't want to get into that area as well. Generally, I would say if you're strength training, I would almost say every other day, or at least 3 times a week would be best for most people. But like Nick said too, it just really depends on the person. So it's kind of a tough question. Just based off of where you are.
Wow, we got some smart trainers here, don't we? Brooks, what do you think, my man?
Kind of like what they said, it really depends on what you do. A lot of it depends on your extracurricular activities too. So if you know your extracurricular activities is pretty strenuous on the body, say if you are like Tom and you do jujitsu on the side, that's really taxing on the body, so you've got to take that into your recovery. The biggest piece of advice is you got to listen to your body and have those recovery days. You can't just go hard 7 days a week. Eventually your body's going to regress a little bit. So incorporate those rest days, people. It's not the lazy day, but even on rest days, you can find time to do 5, 10, 15 minutes of mobility.
I was going to say, yes.
You can always do a little bit of mobility.
That's the thing. That's the beauty.
I tell people, biggest thing is you're sitting in front of the TV at the end of the night, hop on the ground while you're watching
Oh my gosh,
TV.
you're speaking my language.
Move the coffee table aside.
Yeah.
Do some stretching. Just noodle around in different positions and soreness positions.
Dude, I'm the weirdo who unless I'm at like a movie theater, I'm going to be stretching. If I'm watching something, I'm always doing some kind of mobility work, honestly.
It's the best thing
not
you can
always,
do, because most people are going to sit there and watch an hour or so of TV unwinding at the end of a long day. So best thing to do is just go on the ground and noodle around.
Yeah, there's very little excuse, because it doesn't have to be stressful or strenuous, but it's going to do you a world of help.
And if you've got a dog, they're probably going to want to act like you're playing, or they're going to come lick your face, just an FYI.
Let me just, every time I get down on my Rumble roller, not sponsored, but on my special foam roller, my dog thinks it's playtime, and so I multitask there a bit. All right, Hunter, what do you think? How many times should the peeps be training?
So I would say first off, set a baseline of like NEAT or steps and try to get those steps in every day, and don't really count that as training. But I think when you're looking at like training, I would consider it either a cardiovascular bout of training or resistance training. And if you're specifically looking more so at resistance training, I usually recommend that my clients start off with like 2 to 3 times per week. And I've just seen people make such great progress with 2 to 3 times per week. Like, it's hard for me to say this, but I think that's all that a lot of people need. But if you have more like, say, bodybuilding aspirations, as many as 12 sessions per week, like multiple per day even, and then, you know, so it's just a big range. Set, like I said, set kind of like a step goal, because that's great for health. And then training sessions, a lot of people are probably good with 2 to 3. If you have bigger goals, maybe you want to do physique sport or something like that, all the way up to maybe 12, but don't start right at 12, like work your way up. So that's my kind of varied answer, I guess, but yeah.
So we're pretty much in line with what people have been saying. I like, you know, yeah, we're nuanced people. We have different views on things, but there's of course going to be overlap when we know what's up, right?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? Is it more or less echoing?
It's
what the
more or
people
less
say?
echoing. Yeah, like the big one is it depends, but I also agree completely with Nick that like there should be some activity every day. Like you don't want to have a day where you're just sitting around all day.
Yeah.
And there's always a way to fit it in, even if it's like a 5-minute desk break or whatever, but just making sure that you're active on a regular basis. And then the training hugely depends. But I hope this is helpful actually for our clients and anyone out there starting a program to see like how much it varies and how you should consider all of these things, and that this is how our minds work as trainers. So whatever program you're finding online that might be suggesting that you do this like HIIT workout 7 days a week, 7 times a day, I don't even know, like it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, and this is the type of thing that you need to consider. So it's, where are you starting right now? What are your goals? How old are you? What extracurricular activities are you doing? What injuries are you working around? What is your stress level like? How's your sleep? How well fueled are you? All of those things are going to play into how much training you can do or should do. So not to echo everyone and not to again say it depends, but it does. And all humans should know that and be thinking that way when it comes to their fitness, and not just willy-nilly going about it. We all know intuitively, and well, also because we're educated on it, and this is what we eat, sleep, and breathe, but we know if we need to take a back off day and back down based on how we slept or our stress or how we're feeling from the previous workout, things of that nature. And that's really kind of how everyone should approach it. Or learn to.
Yeah, you all stole my answer.
Oh, yeah?
And honestly, it's like
Tom?
it's good that nobody here was just like had a concrete like it must be this. I didn't expect anybody would. I was more or less expecting this, and that was kind of my hope, because it's going to really hammer in the point that you can't approach most things in life, let alone fitness, with the idea that like there is a set in stone way to approach it. I mean, there's going to be some general little rules, of course, but there's always going to be, you know, individual experience, of course, but then just even those anomalies even. So it's like you kind of gotta play around, hopefully listen to somebody who knows better and get some proper guidance. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a matter of knowing yourself, learning yourself, and listening to your body along the way. And yeah, rolling with the punches.
But at the end of the day, I think the thing we all agreed on is you should move. Regularly. Yes.
Movement in general is king.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like
Nobody
movement every
said
day.
zero.
But it doesn't have to be strenuous at all. Like it just
around.
Don't listen to
noodle
him.
around. Yeah, it's a matter of balancing your more strenuous activities with the more light activities, but having some level of activity on a regular basis, because your body, like, are you kidding me? We have articulating appendages every which where. Like if we're built this way, isn't it pretty clear that we're kind of made to move, so to speak? And as I'm gonna get up on a little soapbox here, but you know, once that industrial revolution came around, we got so much beauty in the world, but then we also had a lot more opportunity to be sedentary as well. And that's just been progressing ever since that industrial revolution really set in. And, you know, it's at its worst right now, and it'll probably just keep getting worse. And that's why, you know, our humble little team of trainers here is trying to work against that and truly normalize health and fitness. And I do mean normalize in the sense of like, it should not be seen as weird to prioritize your health and fitness and choose that over, you know, going to the club or whatever, and seeing, you know, going to the gym at night as being a lame activity over going out to the bars or the club or something along those lines. everything in balance. I'm not saying those things can't fit into a healthy lifestyle, but at the end of the day, we're made to move. We should want to be healthy if we enjoy living, because that's going to enrich our lives.
Oh yeah, Hunter, what happens if you stop squatting?
You die.
You get put in the retirement home.
Yep, pretty much. End up like Alex, he's old.
Actually, it's actually true in third world countries. If you can't squat, you literally just die quickly. So keep up that mobility in the hips and be able to move and all that kind of stuff. And then you fall and break your hips when you get a little bit older, and you're done pretty quick after that. So it is real deal. Keep
One of
up.
my grandmas died right after she broke her hip.
It is real deal. Keep up the mobility and keep up the ability and strength to do that stuff.
Well, my mom was a DON of a nursing home, and she says the main reason people get put into these nursing homes because they can't get up and off the toilet seat anymore.
It's the number
Or
one
they
reason.
can't rotate to get around and clean themselves or stand in the shower. So the longer you can move, the better off you are.
The carryover is incredible. The stuff we do in the gym, sure, we can say it's for vanity or for a specific activity, but at the end of the day, we should also be looking at it as the things that are going to help us live our lives, literally get out of a chair. You think of a squat, it's kind of that same idea, getting up out of a chair.
Did I cut to Pete here?
Yes, cut to Pete. And I figure I'd hopefully get to ask him how many times a week he gets in some activity.
Oh, every day, guarantee it.
Probably, yeah. The man's a beast. His trainer's all right, but no, I'm just kidding. Nick's the best.
Big Red.
Big Red.
Big
We
Red.
love Big Red.
What do we got cooking over there?
What's this shenanigan?
It's
know what
Alex's
it is.
new toy.
It's my new toy.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
You
You could
unveil.
get it. It's our new.
He just did that.
Yep.
An hour ago.
Made it here.
Made it here. Yeah.
Pete, my man. How many times a week do you get in activity? Whether, more light activity or more strenuous? Doesn't matter. How often are you moving your body, would you say?
5 to 6 days a week.
That's what I'm talking
Try-
about.
I mean,
That's what I'm
whether
talking
it's a walk or, we try to
Absolutely.
do every day. But
Every day, okay, yeah, that's more or less what I thought you were getting at. He gave the answer first for the vlog, and he said that he thinks people should move every day, and that was more or less the theme of our little round table, is that, getting in some activity every day is what you should be aiming for. So thank you for echoing that. Appreciate it. My dear Rocky Jones, get into position there.
Trying to be cool.
Yeah, you are cool. You don't got to try. You
What
just
is it,
are.
Tom?
I was just curious, for you, the individual, Rocky Jones,
Yes.
how often do you get in activity, whether strenuous or lighter activity? Doesn't matter. Just moving your body in in a calculated way.
Okay.
Let's say calculated. Yes.
I try to do something every day, especially when it's nice out, like in the summer, the spring. I try to at least get out and walk and get some steps in. It gets a little bit harder when it's cold outside and it's gross, and you just want to sit around and just eat pizza and watch TV. So it's a little bit tougher, but I mean, definitely, coming here, several times a week.
That's right. And we
helps,
love that you do.
helps make some of that up. But yeah, I try to do every day, but whether or not that actually happens is
But the thing is, as long as you're making the attempt, that's a big part of the whole
Yes.
equation. So, and I know you've improved just in all regards since you started here, and it's
thank
nothing that has to be rushed either. So,
No.
great answer, sir. Appreciate you. Thank
Well,
you so
I
much.
mean, it's real life. We all have jobs and lives and families and
Sure.
all that stuff. So, it's hard to fit it all in, but, as long as you're trying and you're doing your best.
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. Now let's go destroy these legs,
Oh my
shall we?
God. Okay.
Oh yeah, come up a little bit. Let's see this. Oh, there he is. Look at the definition, the vascularity.
And no doubt in my mind that you're staying active, and I'm not here in the evenings very often. So.
Yeah. Good show, old boy. Carissa, darling,
Hi.
I would love to hear. How often are you active?
I am active about 6 or 7 days a week now. which
There's
is-
only 7 days in a week, so that's
I
like every
know.
day.
I am trying to get a little bit more rest time. We're getting kind of close here.
I'm sorry, the music just got louder, I feel like.
No, I'm trying to get more rest days, but I work out here and lift weights twice a week, and I do classes at another place a couple days a week, and I like them. I like working out now, and so it's hard.
Gosh, Carissa, you warm my heart. Like seriously, it makes me so happy to see how much you've taken on the fitness thing.
I've gone from not working out at all for many years to now working out almost 7 days a week.
Every day, yeah.
To the point I have to decide
What's,
if I want to rest
yeah.
or if I want to work out.
Well, I mean, you're doing your mobility work and keeping
Yeah.
that all in order, so that's going to help out a lot. So
Yes.
there's that to consider. But thank you, Carissa. Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew? What are we asking today?
How often are you an active boy, Chris? In
I
any
would
way, shape,
say
or form?
I'm pretty active.
I'd say so too. You're in here all the time.
Yeah, I'm here, what, 8 days a week? No,
I would say perhaps 8.5, 9.
no, I would say daily. And then, you know, I usually kind of chill out a little bit on like Saturdays, kind of do some, you know, catch up of house stuff and adult responsibilities, but otherwise pretty active.
But I mean, that's probably active too, the house stuff.
Yeah,
I'm saying like in all regards, like are
Oh.
you, you know, I would think, I mean, you don't look like you track your steps. I don't see any watch, but probably get a lot of steps in your day, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's usually over 10,000. But,
Okay,
you know,
so
that's
you-
my business too. I'm
But-
rarely in my office. So yeah, I'm around a lot. I lift. I just stay active.
and that's how we keep young.
Yeah, and I, you know, like even my friends make fun of me because I usually don't chill until after like 9 p.m., 9:30 at night. And
Nothing
so
wrong with
I think
that.
that's crazy, but
Nothing
I think
wrong
it's
with
good.
that.
I
You're
think
an
it's good.
inspiration, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.